Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an install of something I probably should have done a year or two ago, and that is putting on car seat covers for my Model Y. This is the one that is kind of our family vehicle. My wife and all the kids are always in. So today we're taking a look at this model sent to me by EV Base. Let's get it unboxed and then I'll tell you all about it. All right, so real quick, this is for the Model Y. It fits the Model Y, the Juniper, the Highlander, basically anything from 2020 through 2024 is what's on the website. At least that's the model that was sent to me. If you do buy one that is a 2025 Juniper or Highlander, there is a separate option you can select for that model. But the one we're looking at today is a 2020 through 2024. So while I finish taking these out of the bag, Studio Cody will tell you more about the product.
All right, let's talk about the price real quick. The seat covers come in at $319, but with my discount code CFTESLA22, you'll save $70.18, bringing your total down to $248.82 with free worldwide shipping. They're available in white, black, red, which I'm showing today, and custom colors. Just a heads up, if you choose a custom color, it's a final sale, no returns or refunds. A few important details: they have airbag cutouts and breathable perforations to make sure your airbag and seat heaters still work properly. They're crafted from high quality Napa leather, and these covers are made specifically for the Tesla Model Y, not some generic fit that stretches over multiple models. So now the few red accents that my wife does have currently in the car is just this little hub down here, which she usually has on red. We've got these seat belts right here that are red, and then her little caps down here are red. Outside of that, there's no more red in here, and so she's very concerned it's gonna be like an absolute explosion of red and she's not gonna like this, but there's only one way to find out. Now, one thing that's kind of a nice upgrade from the previous ones I've installed as well is in the past, they didn't have this lip here, so this just sort of went into the edge down here of the cushion, but these have this little lip here, so it's going to make the two of them come together nicely, especially with that top piece on it. So we're going to install this first on the passenger side, see how this goes. Looks like this tucks in the back, and then we're going to pull it out the front where we'll pull to tighten it. So to give myself the most amount of room, I'm going to raise my seat up as high as I can get it, and I'm going to tilt it back. On the back side here, there are these little flaps down here that have a hook under them, so if you're going to be able to push something through, you're going to have to release these first and pull the flaps. Then you're ready to push it through. Now that I have these out, I'm going to tuck them underneath so I can reach forward and grab them. So now I'm going to feed them back through here, but I'm not going to tighten them yet because we need to do one more thing before we do that. And that is to come up here to these clips on the side. We're going to push them down in this gap right here. Once I go down there, then we'll just find something underneath to clip them to. You really just start reaching, and then whatever you hook it to, that's pretty much what you lock it onto. Yeah, so that wasn't very difficult to find. Got those hooked on. Now I'm going to pull these tight, keep that nice and snug, and then I'm going to push this into the plastic, and there we have a cushion. Next, let's move on to the backrest here. And this specific model does not have a back to it, so you're not pulling the whole thing over. These are much easier to install, but they do still show the hard plastic in the back. So if you're hoping for a unit or a cover that's gonna protect the plastic from like your kids kicking it or something, these, at least what I've seen so far with this set, don't have that. There are those two other pieces that we might come across later that do, but right now I don't think it does, but we'll see. Put this on the top first, then we're gonna take these pieces, we're gonna just shove them underneath the seat and flatten them out on the back. So they're gonna kind of go like this through the seat. And once they come out here, you're going to turn them like that, and then that's how they're going to be held in place. Make sure these are out. We're going to be using those later. And again, this is all going to be covered by that flap we undid in the back. Yeah, actually on the back side, if you just grab them and pull them out, it'll look like this. You can see in there, it's poor lighting, but you can see how they pop out the back, and they need you to stay flat against it. This side, there's this wire coming through, which is what made it a little bit tricky on that last one. Now we're going to take this strap here with the strap from this side. We'll just put those together. And I just found something that I did wrong here. You got to make sure that this strap is on the inside of the seatbelt. Obviously that's not going to work. That's how it's supposed to look. Then I'm just going to kind of push the sides in, and over time this will mold. That's kind of full of air right now. You can see but that's okay. And you see they're all ventilated, all these holes in the back as well as in the base here. And that's so that when you turn on your seat heaters and all that, you know, you've got some ventilation. So we'll test that out and see how long it takes to get that later. But the reason I'm buying these, the reason why people would buy these is to protect your seats. Secondary will be, you know, the heating of them. This one's done. Now we'll go do the same thing to the other side. All right, now that we have the 2 front seats done, which I think are looking sick, we're gonna put on this armrest deal up front, which is just a matter of opening it and sliding it on. Pretty easy. Now on for the back. All right, to get started, we gotta pull the seat forward and we need to remove this headrest. But like most cars, you can press this button right here and just slide these up. With a Tesla, you cannot. The front headrests cannot be removed at all, but the back ones can. You just need a little tool. This is a little plastic pokey tool. And what we're aiming for is right there, that little cutout in the bottom down here. Just gonna poke that in there, then this headrest will come out. Okay, so you have to actually push that button and this one on this side at the same time. It wasn't too hard once I figured that out. Pull this out the rest of the way. So there is a little zipper on the side here that you can use to help you give yourself some more room that will tighten later. And then this doesn't cover up the child seat lock for the strap in the back, so that'll be accessible back there as well. So we're basically just gonna slip this right on over the seat, and then this comes underneath the seat, and it's gonna Velcro itself together. I do like how they've upgraded these. This is gonna be a lot easier to keep it from moving than the ones I've installed in the past. Once again, the hole for the release is gonna be on this side on this one, and you're definitely fighting a little bit of that Velcro on the back carpet. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this headrest back in so that I don't do something down there to screw up the holes up here in the alignment. For that, we just put it in and push. Now we're locked back in place. And I was pleasantly wrong on the back side of these. This Velcro actually sticks to the back of the seat itself, not back to itself. So you can see right here, I just have to put this underneath this little ledge there, this little lip, nice and flat, easy access to the bar here for the car seat. One thing to do too is remove this other seat out of the way so you can actually access the side, because this needs to be pulled around and zipped down here, which would be very difficult to do if this other side was still open. Now I'm going to tuck these underneath here and see what they stick to, because I really don't know what the plan is for these underneath here. So that's down inside of there now. I'm gonna go to the back side and see what that's supposed to stick to. I see what the problem is. We need to remove this section of the trunk to get access to the lower portion. Okay, so I was originally correct. So these do come through here, and then they're gonna go underneath, and then this will stick on top of this. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, pull that tight. Perfect, look at that. That is extremely well thought out, because now this is not going to go anywhere. It's tight on the bottom, tight on the back, tight everywhere. The previous ones I've done, this was always an issue. All right, so I just went and finished up the left side as well. It's basically the same thing. The only difference being is you have a zipper going up the entire side, because you have to be able to get it across here for this connection. And to really install this, you really have to disconnect the center console from the left side there, and you do that with just that button. Other than that, pretty much the exact same. All right, so this other weird piece, I didn't really know where it went before. It's pretty obvious now where it goes. This is the front of the center console, and then in the back you have this piece that goes on. You got your grip here as well as the seatbelt mount, and it's all Velcro. This will just stick to the carpet on the back to complete the look. And they thought through this pretty well too. This one, they gave you a little tab here you can use to pull to get it back underneath the seat and pull up, so you can actually stick these together underneath, making it much simpler. Very thankful for that. Let's give it a shot. So another thing that they've done right was make it so that you can still use the cup holder. So this piece, you know, sometimes people like to fold this out and use it. So this piece actually just covers up the cup holder, and this is where your cups go, is this piece here. Let's get it on and check it out. And I do apologize, the lighting is terrible. We just had a ton of rain come through here. It's just pouring, so I'm not able to be outside, but I'll give you some good shots of this when it's done. Basically, you're just putting it in the bottom section that folds out. You're just covering it. It's pretty self-explanatory here. We got two different flaps. This one's got to go up around here to wrap around this piece here, and then this will go actually under the seat to complete the full wrap. Okay, so you can get one finger through there, push it around. And this is why that strap is so important, because here we are, and I can pull it tight here, just sort of work this back. And then if you push down here, you can get it to keep coming up further. tuck this little strap off to the side. Then we're gonna take this, stick it right down under here like we've been doing with all the other pieces. I do believe we have to actually remove this seat, so this tucking in that I'm doing right here might not really matter at this moment. So I'll just take this on here. It's like putting on a sticker. Oh my gosh, well that's not good. So just trying to move this after putting it on, it instantly ripped off some of the Velcro. So it's not very stuck to this thing apparently. Actually what it is just sewn into the seam here. So I guess be super careful when you take this off. Don't just rip it. Like I felt like I barely even touched it, but apparently I did touch it more than I thought. And just place it the first time where it needs to be, and then you won't have any trouble. For this next part, I'm gonna remove the rear seat by just pulling up. Pops up a little bit there. Be careful you don't just rip this up because there is wires somewhere on one of these sides. I don't know what to call it, but I'm just gonna move this a little bit. Hopefully I don't have to move this too much. Yeah, so here's that wire right there. So you just gotta be careful. I'm not gonna take the whole seat off. I'm just gonna try sliding it forward and seeing if I can't do this all this way. Similar to the other ones, these ones do have the straps that come through here that need to be pulled underneath and tightened. So it would be probably easier to take it all out, but I've never been known to do things the easy way, so why start now? I mean, this shouldn't be too difficult. You got plenty of cord here. I could just keep the thing from falling all over the place. So I'm basically gonna just take each one at a time, get it close, and then I'll tighten them at the end once I get everything in position that I want. And now that I have all those straps loosely done, I'm gonna fit it just right onto each side, making sure that the holes for the seat belts and everything are lined up. I'm gonna come to the front here and just tighten it. Get this center one the way I want it. And then what I'm doing with this hook here is just hooking it onto the strap that I just tightened here. So once I tighten this, and before I put this, well, I gotta do that after. So okay, now we're ready to put this back on. So I'm gonna push it back into place. It's gonna be a little bit tighter than taking it off because I got this extra material here. Okay, well, like usual, I make things so much harder than they need to be. It took me like literally 25 minutes to get this rear seat put on, and it was all my fault. Just do this. There's a big support bar underneath the seat. I would show you, but I'm not taking this damn thing back off again. I had the straps going underneath of it, so that means that the bar had to like press into the straps to get into the spot they needed to be in the seat, thinking there's enough slack there, shouldn't be a problem. It was a problem. After I routed the straps underneath the bar and just pulled them tight, it went on in like 5 seconds. So just make sure you do that. Now go ahead and tuck this piece down underneath here, pulling this forward like this, and then pop that back out, finish tucking that in. 3 pieces left. We're almost there, guys. Okay. I didn't mean for this to be like a total installation tutorial, but I saw the other videos on YouTube and they like literally said like nothing on how to install it. It's like watching someone do it, so I figured what the heck, we'll put it together like this in case someone needs to actually install this thing. So pulling this forward, opening this up, this is gonna go like this, and then this is gonna come down here and Velcro to itself right down here is how that actually works. All right, close this down, shove that back, shove that in there. Whew, 2 more. And thank goodness these are gonna be simple. So make sure these are up all the way, kind of wiggle that on there. This is still gonna be tight. None of this stuff just has a lot of space. Oh my gosh. This would have been so much easier to do with the armrest off. But if you're watching this video, hopefully you watch it through the whole way before you did it yourself, and you put these on before you put the headrest back on, and we're done. All right, guys, we made it to the finish. So final thoughts. Definitely upgrade from previous models that I've seen. I do like that they added some black here. It does give it an extra bit of depth, not all just red. There is a lot of red, but that does add a nice touch. I like that you have the tightening straps down here now versus just the clips. They just make it a little bit easier to keep it tight and cinched down. You're not gonna worry so much about this shifting, which is what happened more in my Model 3. I don't know that I'll keep this on here. I've never been a fan of these, but they do have this on here in case you do like it. The reason why I don't really like it so much is you can just see these ledges and stuff. It just kind of looks cheap, unlike anything else. As a part of this, I don't really know if there's such a thing as a fix for that, but it is what it is. The back seat is where it really shines, where the improvements are just over and above what I've seen in the past. With every model that I've reviewed before, These two were stuck together. You had a zipper that would come down here. You'd have to unzip that. This would all kind of flap to the side in order to get access to like the trunk or to pull this down. And you really never had a way to use this without kind of disassembling half the back seat. It's not super easy, but it can be done. You just stick your hands in there and you still do have access to your cup holders, and it's just all protected. Every bit of this, there's a lot of different parts to it, all protected. Looks great. I also like that they extended around the back side over here as well. So if you do have something in your trunk, like a dog or I don't know, something sharp or whatever else, the back of your seats will be protected. So that is a nice feature as well. In terms of if you can still feel the seat heater, of course, it's going to take a little bit longer, but not so much that you notice. I usually ride with my seat heater on only level 1, maybe level 2 anyway. So maybe in this scenario, I would put it to 3 if I wanted the heat to come quick, and then just back it down once the heat got there. But I mean, after driving for a few minutes, it's really not an issue. It's kind of irrelevant. The only difference would be is how quickly you feel the heat, not whether or not you're going to feel it. Now don't forget there are other colors to this too, so if red is not your thing, you can choose white or probably black or whatever else. I'll put the link down in the description, of course, with my discount code. Don't pay full price. But yeah, comment down below what you guys think. Should I keep this in here, or is it better with just the solid black? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.